fantastic, illustrious YouTubers to come in and join me. I'm being smoked out by the campfire, but I'm not going to move. I am having a smoke bath. More fire than I needed today, that's for sure. Salute. Hello, KL. How are you doing, man? Thanks for dropping in. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I am out here in the bush just practicing skills. Excuse me, I had to get some Gatorade in me. Just finished cooking me a meal that was just basically some ramen noodles. And I'm great. And how? Hey, it's going pretty good. Pretty good. I came out here today specifically to use this axe that I've been raving about. And the axe works pretty well. So I'm going to see if some more people join in. And then I'm just going to go over what I did today. I see my fire is still going. Not a big fire, but hey, nevertheless, it is a fire. Campfire, another skill, practicing balancing your cup on the fire without spilling the water, because water is so precious out here. I brought only 64 ounces of water, and I think this is 16 ounces of Gatorade, because I knew hey Hunter, Chef Hunter, how are you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you? I'm out here, man, with the fantastic cutting tool, the axe. Man, this thing is a beast. It's a beast. So I don't know if you guys got the message that okay, I tell you what. I'm gonna take the sheath off. I want you to tell me, hey, Harry, tell me how many parts you see of this axe. How many parts do you see? Okay, 3. Does anyone else? Let's see. 3. Message retracted. Way more than 3, that's for sure. 4. More than 4. It's more than 3. So, what I'm going to do is explain. Okay, 6, 7. Xavier, hey, thanks for coming in. 6 or 7, still more. This is with every axe, unless you have a S-wing that's all metal or fist scars. Black Hawk Bushcraft, how are you doing, man? So, 8, okay, still more. 9, there's still more. It's a 10, there's still more. 13, more. It's more than 13, 18. I'll tell you what, it's more than 13 and less than 15. More than 13 and less than 15. So, 29, 14 parts to this axe. 14. So I'm going to go over the 14 parts. The first part, the head, the main portion of the axe. That's number one, the head. Number two is the bit, the cutting edge. That's number two. Number three is going to be the heel of the bit. The heel is the portion that strikes the wood first. So if you are chopping, more than likely, this portion is going to hit the heel first and go into the wood. You can come straight down, but this heel is going to hit it first. That's number three. Number four is the toe. This is going to be the first portion that comes out of the wood. So when you strike the wood, this goes into the wood, this is in the wood. So when you hit the end knob, this portion comes out first. And this is the heel. But this is also, the heel is good for cutting. As you can put your finger here and you can actually cut. So that's number four is the heel. Let's see, number five, the cheeks. The cheeks right here. The cheeks have a lot to do with the balancing of the axe. Also, on this particular axe, you may notice this is pretty wide in here. This is more or less for splitting. On my S-wing, the profile is very narrow, which is for chopping, which you are breaking fibers. Hey, JT Bushcraft, hello, man. Join in on this axe lesson. So this portion is more or less for splitting because this is a wider portion. But again, the cheeks right here for balancing, and that the cheeks are basically the profile. So that's the cheeks. I don't know if, I think I may have skipped the bevel. The bevel is the shiny portion right here. This is the bevel, the shiny portion. This bevel basically has an angle change right here. And this angle change goes all the way to the bit. This is the bevel, the shiny portion. It starts here. It ends at the bit. Okay, so next portion of this axe is the beard. Everything below this portion is considered the beard. So all of this portion below this rod is the beard. Now that's going to allow you to really choke up really well. But also, the longer the beard, of course, more metal to the wood. So this is the beard starting right here. And this edge here is like 3.75, I believe. The next portion, I think I've lost count, but I think it's number 6. The next portion is the shoulder. No, let's go to here. The next portion is the eye. The hole in the axe head, this is the eye. Now, if you notice on this one, Another part of the axe is the wedge. There's a wooden wedge right here, and then there is a steel. Hey KP, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. There is a steel barrel here. So this one has two wedges. It has a wooden wedge, it has a steel barrel wedge, and what the wedge does, spreads the wood out to maintain its tightness in the eye. Okay, so next part of an axe is the shoulder. This is where the head sits on the shoulder. This is the shoulder right here, but I have it covered up with paracord. So this is the shoulder. Here again, for precision work, I can go right behind the shoulder, beneath the beard, and do carving work, slicing work. Okay, so that is the shoulder. The next part of the axe is the belly. The belly is right here. Here again, this allows you to get to be much more accurate. For if you want to make tent pegs, I don't know, can you guys do it? If you want to make tent pegs by choking up on the belly. So that's the shoulder, that's the belly. The next portion is the throat. The throat, notice how the handle or the haft, you make H-A-F-T, it curves out, how this curves in. This is the throat. So this allows you good striking power. And the last portion is the end knob. The end knob. How it's spread out, this allows you to not lose your grip. Ooh, the smoke. To not lose your grip. And so that's 14 parts of this axe. So again, so you have the main head, 1, you have the bit, 2, you have the heel, 3, you have the toe, 4, you have the bevel, 5, you have the eye, 6, you have the wedges, 7, you have the shoulder, 8, you have the belly, 9, you have the throat, 10, you have the end knob, 11. Okay, so what did I miss? I missed something here. Oh, the cheeks also. So what's that? 12, the cheeks. The butt, 13. There's one more. I went over the bevel, but I did make a video today of going over all 14 parts of an axe. Now, I have a 3 S-wing. I have 2 X-wing axe and an S-wing camp sportsman hatchet. They're all one piece of metal. So the head, the eyes, there is no eye. They're all made together. Hey, Jason in Virginia, how you doing, man? Hey, Jason, this is the one, man, I picked up at Mountain Readiness. It works well, and I did some chopping with it today. Today is the first time I used it. I wanted to fell a tree, but where I am, there's no dead standing tree to fell. Wow, the smoke is really something, but I'm getting a smoke bath. So I was able to chop, I was able to split in a manner that I've never split wood the way I did. Let me think about that. No, I didn't. The way that I split the wood today, it will be on the video, but I came out here I could have split the wood very easily with another method, but I basically had the wood, I used a 6 finger and split it this way. I use the triangle method. For example, if this is the wood, with this here, and if you notice, you create a triangle. It's called the triangle method. But yeah, hey Jason, the kukri is going to be coming out soon as well. Jason and I went to a meetup, the Mountain Readiness Expo, about 2 weeks ago, and we had a blast. We had a blast, even though we had to drive through the mountains, but we had a blast. We took some classes, and picked up some nice knives. I forgot the drinking thing we picked up. So we picked those up, but I did take some classes there. I took a navigation class, and I took a class that says it was about herbs. The instructor was saying the 10 best herbs that she recommend. But yeah, so we were at Mountain Readiness, and I picked up a very, very nice, fantastic kukri. The kukri is designed by Alan Kay, the winner of Alone in 2015. Alan Kay stayed there 56 days. Alan Kay has a fantastic personality, very entertaining on the camera. So I did a video on the kukri. I haven't brought it out in the field as of yet, but it will be coming out. It's a very, very nice kukri. But I like the balance of this hatchet. This is a marbles hatchet. And I think this has to be almost, it says 1 pound and 1.3 for pounds, but I think it's heavier. But it really chops well. I really like the throat, the way the throat feels, especially with leather gloves on. I'll just show you. With these leather gloves and this lanyard that I loop, this is just awesome. It's hard to get I don't think I can get a better grip. And I can use this with one hand, but with two hands, it's even better. Right at the end of the end knob and here. But yeah, I think it's beneficial to know the anatomy of a, because it helps you know what you can do. I mean, again, choking up on the shoulder, putting your hand underneath the beard. I actually made some feather sticks. I only did one just as an example. Now, of course, you're not going to make the best feather sticks with a convex grind. Most axes and hatchets have a convex grind, and that is the strongest grind. If you notice, it's very beefy and meaty. There's no grinding out or anything. Hello there. Let's see, who am I looking at? Oki Khan, hello. Oops, thanks for dropping in. Jeff, thanks for dropping in. Off the Hook. Hey, Off the Hook, I'm going to be seeing you, what's that, June 20th and through the 22nd. There's a rendezvous meetup in Clarion, Pennsylvania. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the fishing derby and the fire contest. So, guys, if you can make it up to Clarion, Pennsylvania, June 20th through the 22nd. I've looked at the videos. I'm so looking forward to meeting some of the creators, content creators, and I think it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast, you know. I've been checking it out on the web. The site is tremendous. There's a lot of room. So that's guys, again, I encourage you, if you're able to get to a meetup. Hey, Canadian, Canada John, how are you doing? Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. How's the weather up there or over there? Here it's pretty good. It's warm. I had to take off a shirt already, but yeah. Let me see. You talk about Georgia. Yeah, Georgia Bushcraft. Cool and rainy there. Okay. I looked at the weather. They said we may get some rain around 3 o'clock, but then it goes away so quickly. But I don't know. I don't think I'll be here by 3 o'clock. I don't know because again, I came out here just to really do fell a tree. Again, there's no deadwood, hard standing trees around, but I was able to chop. I was able to split. I was able to carve. So that's what I. But it's gonna more experience with an axe. The thing is, they say use an axe instead of beating your knives up. I have a knife with me. I don't know if I think I showed this already. The knife I had, I didn't use it at all today. I did use, let me get this knife right here. I did use this knife to throw sparks today. This is a Starling, a very good knife. I mean, the sheath, take the glove off here. Jeff Cook, let's see. You're using the lanyard incorrectly. Okay, you need to loop the lanyard over your hand and stick your fingers through the front. This is going to lock your hand in and greatly improve your grip. Yeah, I think the grip you're speaking of. Let's see. I think you're speaking of the grip. Let's see. Let me just. Yeah, I think you're speaking of this grip. I mean, I think this works well because it's not going to come off your hand. But for some reason, I've always used this and it's worked well. Let me tell you where I learned to do this grip from. There's a guy named Dave. His channel is called Really Big Monkey. And I've been watching him for let's say for the last 3 years, and he's always used this method. But he did also demonstrate the method that you're speaking of, which you can also put it. Yeah, this method, and I think it works well too. I think this would work well. It's just that I've never tried it. Okay, so I will put that loop in the front. Let's see, the letters are so small here on the front. No, the side, so that when you're swinging forward, you can allow the hand to slip slightly and still not lose your grip. Okay, so I know you can put it this way, using it this way, or this goes underneath and this goes this way. So again, are you speaking of this method or this method? Because I think with both of them, let's see, That one. Okay, so um, my 60 years, I've never used a lanyard or a knife or axe. I just held on to them. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I think it's if I just use this and I don't have a lanyard, I think it's because I'm so used to having a lanyard. I mean, I have a lanyard on every single knife cutting tool that I have, except except my brand new Expedition Kukri, because there is no lanyard hole, and I'm not going to use a lanyard on that one. But even on this one, and the lanyards are, I have a cord lock on each one, but I've always just felt very comfortable with this method. So even with this small one, and I want to do feather sticks, just go on top of the with the jimping right here. Yeah, and see, this is what I like about conversating with bushcrafters, because these are the things you learn, how other people do things, which you try it, and it may improve. You may improve on what you're doing. I don't know if this is the sound out or what, but look like I'm fading in and out. So let's see, if the lanyard is over your wrist, the tool can swing. Oh, I think I read that. Okay, swing back and hit. Oh, will swing back and hit you. If it's over your wrist, it can swing back and hit you. If the lanyard is on your uh, hand in the front, it prevents the tool from coming back towards you. Let me see if it's in the front. Oh, if it's in the front, I think I know what you're speaking of, because I have a Camp 10 where the lanyard is in the front. But yeah, I'm gonna explore, and I think it's always good to know more than one way. I think it's good to know more than one way. Um, but anyway, just as of today, you know, I did the cut, um, and I hope the video comes out okay because I had some camera issues. But I could have made the V much wider when chopping this piece of wood. The wood was probably larger. The log was probably, I probably could have used a larger hatchet to do that. But nevertheless, this 16-inch, it did the job. I'm a firm believer, if you do your job, the tool will do its job. And and again, I'm very concerned about safety. It's like if you're carrying this axe without its sheath, always put this finger here and the edge going. So if you drop it, you might just know you can drop this and not fall on this. Um, Also, when you have the sheath on, you can walk through the woods and use this to remove limbs out of your way. They also, what I learned is that there are 3 areas that the edge should stop. And I just don't, let's see here. I'm trying to get this large piece of wood here. Okay, so this large piece of wood here. There are 3 areas that this blade should stop. So for an example, if this is a piece of wood, let's just say it's thicker, the only place this should stop is in the working material. So I've been chopping so much I'm getting cramps in my finger. It should stop in the working material or the material that is supporting the working material. Those are the only places it should stop. The third place is in the air. So I'm sure you guys have heard that when you're chopping, if you're chopping to the left, your left leg should be behind you. If you're chopping to the right, your right leg should be behind you, which means you have to learn to chop both directions, and that's fine. And that's what I practice on. But I think this is a great skill. This is a great tool, and I think I can do more with this than I can with my large machetes. Now, if I carry a large machete, for example, the King Kukri machete, which is 12.5 inches, very, very beefy, made by Condor. The King Kukri machete is a chopper. There would not be a need to bring an axe or a hatchet. Or if I were to bring the Becker BK 2021, that has a, I think it's a 13.5 blade with the saber grind. So it's a very, very strong. When I bring that out, I don't bring an axe or a hatchet because that's a chopper also. But the King Cook machete, it's a chopper. It has a convex grind as well. So let me just put the sheath back on here. So there's some if I have a large, like I said, hey Johnny, how you doing, man? Thanks for dropping in. So the only whenever I go out, if it's for other than with the exception of hunting, if I'm going out just for a day as I am now, I'm bringing a minimum of 3 tools. It's going to be an axe or a hatchet, a large knife that's going to be anywhere from 7 to 10 inches, and a saw. Today, the saw that I used, let's see, I was trying to travel light. Let me see, but the hatchet serves many purposes, mainly a hammer. You know, from everything I've read, it's like, yes, you can use this for tent pegs, but I've read never metal to metal. But I also read something that if you use this constantly, pounding, it's going to mushroom the eye. You know, I don't know. But yeah, but you can. I have used one of my S-wings, the back of it, as a hammer because it's a one piece. It's one piece. There's no eye to mushroom. I'm not so, but so I use this today. Again, let me make sure the sheath is on here. I'm even going to replace this paracord with orange. So this paracord on here is going to be replaced with orange. Let's see, correct, never metal to metal, and it won't mushroom it out. And it won't mushroom out. Okay. So these are the great things you learn from other content creators, which I truly appreciate. You know, because you hear so much, but when you hear it from people who have actually done it, they actually have experience. Those are the individuals I take advice from. So the sheath is back on. And the saw that I used today is a Baco Laplander. I cut some wood so that I could split it, that I could split it. So I usually use this as a backup saw, but today I'm trying to travel light, I did a video not long ago about should your rucksack exceed 20% of your body weight. So I'm really trying to take that into account. So I just brought this today because I'm saying if I can't saw it, well, guess what? I have an axe along with a knife. So I can still separate wood. But this this is 7.5 inches. It cuts on the push and the pull, and it has, I think, 7.5 teeth per inch, I believe, or something to that effect. But yeah. So this the Baco Laplander, very nice. So, and like I said, the stalling, but I did not use the ferrocerium rod that came with it. I used another one. A guy by the name of Mark Katz sent me a ferrocerium rod with a deer antler, so I used that one. But this is the ferrocerium rod that comes with the stalling, and it's a pretty good one. You know, it has an indention. Let's see, an indention for the to throw sparks. Let's see it. So, and what I like about this is that I think this ferrocerium rod screws in, but what I like about this one is that you can adjust it. You can wear it scout side, vertical. So that's one thing I like about that. But again, my main purpose was to use an axe. And you know, one of these days I'm just gonna come out with nothing but an axe, because I was able to make feather sticks today. Well, I made a feather stick, and you may know that if you got a hatchet or a carbon steel knife, you don't need the ferrocerium. That's right. So carbon steel knife, just some flint. Oh yeah, flint. You're right. Yeah, flint. One of the things I like is flint and steel. You know, and making the chalk cloth. I have a lot of chalk cloth at home. I was even out at this same location. Well, in a different area, but at this same location. And it was somewhat raining. And I got so much cedar bark. I just poured it off the tree. And it's been in my garage now for maybe about a month. I'm just letting it dry out. And that's going to be some great tinder when using my flint and steel. That's another method of starting a fire, because when you use the flint and steel and you get that ember on the char cloth and you put it into the tinder bundle, start your fire, get some coal, you can still make more char cloth with that tin can. I use an Altoid can, have a hole in it, and I make more char cloth. So yep, cedar bark is it. Yeah, you know what? I was out scouting for turkeys. I didn't hear anything, no success. So I collected so much cedar bark. I didn't want to make the trip is never a waste, because you know you're out there trying to find turkeys. You're using different calls, diaphragm calls, the slate, the owl hooter, what is the gobbler that makes the noise. And but of course, you know, you have to really be out early in the morning. But it was a trip of basically scouting for turkeys, learning a new area, practicing using my my compass. So those are the things, you know, and the compass that I'm using is it's a Sun 2, MC Sun 2. So, you know, always when I come in, I'll do an azimuth even though I know exactly where I am, I'll just practice using this, going from an azimuth to an azimuth all the way out to my car. And so I was basically out learning a new area, practicing with my compass, my navigation, practicing the turkey calls, um, also scouting for water because I want to go over in that area. But what I did learn, I have a very, very long lanyard onto my compass that's hooked into a loop that's hooked into my belt because I don't want to lose this for sure. Um, and I don't want it around my neck because the only thing I keep around my neck is a whistle. That's the only thing that I keep around my neck. And with this whistle, I like it because it just breaks away if necessary. So I'm not going to get choked with it. This just goes back into here and I'm all good. So, but yeah, I'm telling you, I really enjoy learning. Still more to come, but learning how to properly use an axe. It's not like when we were young, we would just take an axe because it's an axe and start beating, you know. But learning how to make the V section, how to switch hands each time, practicing safety, you know, it's a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, this is a lot of fun. You know, I know there's more that I have to learn, and this is why I constantly say you got to come out in the bush and learn and practice those skills. Um, let's see. This is the first time you've popped into my feed. My wife is calling me for lunch, but I enjoyed the interaction. Thank you so much, Jeff. I definitely appreciate it, man. Hey, thanks for the advice as well on the lanyard. That's what I like about this, you know. Hey, you're always learning from other people. But Jeff, I definitely appreciate the information on use that lanyard. So, hey, Turk B, how are you doing? How's everything going with you? I'm going well. Yeah, I'm just out here in the bush, man, out here. I had a lot of fun practicing with this. Let's say I'm more or less learning how to really use an axe, man. It's because I want to spare my knives. I don't want to always just beat on my knives, but man, splitting wood, you can actually carve with this, and you know you can even use this for skinning for processing your game. You know, you can actually like if you squirrels, rabbit or whatever, you know, hard bone, or you know, you can use this to help process. But let's say if you get elk or moose, you can actually take the hatchet and break some of the bones to make everything much smaller and more manageable. You can do these things with an axe. So these are all the great things that I'm learning about the axe. And you know, I have other axes and hatchets that I've used before, but I just really took a strong interest into axe and hatchets as I did with knives. I think it's, you know, even with knives, I used to always think, why do these knives cost so much? I mean, a knife is a knife. They all cut, but it's the material. It's the steel, you know. Now, when I come into the bush, I always bring a folding knife as well. Hey, Kentucky Survival, how you doing? I hope everything's good down there. Bone saw works good for that. Yeah, bone saw. You know what? Because with my hunting, I have a bone saw. You know, if I want to use it on the sternum of the deer, but I've never had to for some reason. But I've had a bone saw for a very, very long time, you know. But when it comes to knives, it's the metal that makes things expensive. Small hatchets make a good bone saw. Small hatchets, yeah. As a matter of fact, so when I go hunting, I carry it's a hook knife, bone knife, and a caping knife. Now I'm not gonna cape a deer right there, you know, but I carry again the hook knife, the bone saw, and a caping knife. But I also carry a small hatchet with a fair sim rod, and then I carry a belt knife. I don't know if that's over the top for hunting, but I'm always thinking, what happens if you get out there and you know you have to stay longer. Well, you want to be prepared. But when speaking of knives and the cost of knives, I bring this well, I'm not going to say El Cheapo, but this is a $10 gas station knife. I've been using this thing so long. I have made about 4 Dakota fires using the canal with this, and I like it because it's a tanto blade and it has serrations. I'm just one of those guys that likes serrations. But now this is not the knife that you would take and try to, you know, tensile strength or anything like that. But you know, it won't wear out. I mean, it just won't wear out. But I've had this thing a long time. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to baton with it, that's for sure. Even though I have seen people fold it and then they'll put it on the wood and they'll baton it like this. But there are other tools for that. But here again, this is what you learn when you actually speak with other bushcrafters. And you know, I think I'm so glad that we have this community. I haven't been in the bush as much as I wanted to. You know, things come up. That's life. So I think this is the first opportunity I've been in the bush since I went to Mount Readiness Expo in Harmony, North Carolina. Um, you know, getting out in the bush, you see the real deal. You know, for example, this log, when batoning, you really don't find smooth logs in the bush. This log here, you don't find them in the bush. You have to saw through these. Now, this particular log, I'm looking at maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 of these that where there are 2 logs and they're going to have to be sawed. But this is going to be something that I use in the wintertime to make a long fire, all night fire. So, but the thing about it though, again, when you come into the bush, you know, you see a lot on YouTube and people out there, they're chopping and they got their chopping blocks. But you don't find that in the bush. If you find one, someone made it. And this has been here for a while because I actually chopped this. I actually sawed this. And I just haven't had the opportunity to use it, you know. The larger, let me see, fixed blade knives, 7-inch plus, always run higher prices. That's true. That's true. I remember once I bought a Condor Mountain Pass knife. Condor Mountain Pass knife. And I saw the price. It was like $91. It's like, and the thing about it, I bought it because I thought it was a Scandinavian grind. Hey, Cherokee, what's going on, man? Stay around. We're going to talk. I bought the Mountain Pass knife thinking that it was a Scandinavian grind, but it was not a Scandinavian grind. It is a low flat grind and with the double bevel. But you're right, 7 inches and more, they're usually costly, but it's worth it because that knife it's a 1095 high carbon steel, and I really like it. It has micarta handles, and when those handles are wet, the grip is even better. So yeah, but the knives are pricey, um, but it is what it is. But yeah, the thing about that knife, when I bought it, I liked it, then I didn't like it, then I liked it, then I didn't, then I hated it, but now I love it. Hey, Grandfather Outdoors. Hey guys, I got to tell you about two gentlemen who are in here right now. Cherokee Survival, great guy. I love his comments because Cherokee will challenge you. He will make you do some serious thinking. So Cherokee, hey, thumbs up. The other guy, Grandfather Outdoors. If you guys want to learn tarpology, it is a must that you go over to his channel. I see his tarps all the time. And I said, okay, I'm going to make that tarp. When I go to the bush, I'm going to make that one. I put it in the playlist. He comes out with so many, I don't think I'll ever be able to do all the configurations that he does. But he did a video. Now I know why he's so good, because his job is similar to doing that. And I was wondering, I said, now I see why he's so good at making all these different configurations when it comes to a tarp. But yeah, so you guys, if you get a chance, if you want someone to give you some serious comments, Cherokee Survival, and you want to learn some serious tarpology, Grandfather Outdoors. Two great channels. I can assure you of that. Yeah, every time I go and I'm looking, I know I'm going to see something from Grandfather Outdoors. I just haven't had the chance. I mean, I think I have to be out here almost every day trying to learn all the configurations that he comes up with, Great channels, great channels. Yeah, great channels. But yeah, and today I just built a lean-to. Just out of, I'll just show you real quickly what I did. I put the mylar on the opposite side and the orange on the inside. I'll just show you quickly. I just did that because I've never done it before, and since it's a relatively warm day, I said there's no reason to have heat reflecting on me. And but here are the things that you learn. I'm putting up a simple lean-to shelter, 45-degree angle. My right above my right grommet, it rips. But no worries, because you always carry one of the 10Cs is what is it? Cargo tape, which is Gorilla Tape. So I carry a roll of that with me. I put some Gorilla Tape on one side and the other side, and it's good as new. But I made it a little too tight because I was trying to good day to reflect the heat. Yeah, good way to reflect the heat. Yeah, but so it tore. I put the Gorilla Tape on it. It's good as new now. But I didn't want. I thought about making a different configurations, but I said today I wanted to just feature on the hatchet, the 14 parts of this hatchet. So yeah, I'm going to. It's going to be on the video. I went over the 14 parts of the hatchet and of the axe. It applies to a hatchet as well. So I hope that's beneficial to everyone, But yeah, it's been a lot of fun out here just practicing. Like I said, I hadn't been out here since I think it's at least maybe 3 weeks. I know I wasn't out here last weekend, and the weekend before, I believe I was in North Carolina. So yeah, it's been, I'm gonna say at least 3 weeks. But I think it's really awesome just getting out here in Mother Nature. And the thing, also something that I've learned is that when I first started bushcrafting, I put all my gear in on, start trekking, and I would trek like 2 miles in, and then one guy brought it to my attention. He said, "So if you're practicing bushcrafting, why are you trekking so far? Are you going hiking or are you going to bushcraft? Because all the time you spend hiking those 2 miles, I can just go 200 yards, a lot more time to practice the bushcrafting skills, and then I get to stay longer because I don't have to hike out as far." So, even you meet nice people here. Uh, I've had nice conversations even with the game wardens. Um, I'm in it somewhat of a valley, so really no one can see me, but I can, there are a lot of horses and I can see the horses. I can hear I can hear the people, but um, this is a great location. Excuse me, a great location. Um, so every time I come here, I always make a fire. Uh, I just show you my fire's going out right there. Well, it's basically gone out, but I have processed so much wood here. That's what keeps me coming back. It's like I've already processed this wood, and I see these logs that are like 10 inches in 10 inches in diameter, and that's just a challenge to me. That I just want to take my axe and I just want to chop them, chop them and saw. But I only chopped through one log today. I think the log, I'm gonna say it was maybe 10 inches in diameter. I don't know. It had to be at least 10 inches in diameter. Well, maybe 8. I don't know. I know it required a lot of effort, but with this axe with the wide profile, splits very well. Um, but I think with any axe, hatchet, cutting tool, I think if you practice enough, and my goal is to, any cutting tool that I put in my hand, I want to be able to use it 100% efficiently. Now I know that's a lot. That may be a tall order, but it's just some. That's one of my goals. I want to be able to take any knife and make feather sticks, any knife and carve, any hatchet and carve. How long and how wide? 10 inches, is that what you mean? In diameter. In diameter. For example, let me ask you guys, what do you think the diameter of this one? Let's see. What do you think the diameter is of this one? Yeah, but the one that I chopped this morning, it was this size. So I really think um, you think this is about 11 to 12? Okay, well, yeah, this is what I chopped this morning with this. I'm always sometime overdoing it. But you think this is 6 inches? Yeah, okay. 12 to 13. Yeah, well, I like challenges. But yeah, and I didn't dare put this one in the fire, in the campfire today, because this will burn much, much longer. And I say I'm not going to be here very well. I don't know. Whenever I come out, I always want to make sure I spend a full day. So, but that's something that I will burn, make a campfire with for staying overnight. You think 11 and a half? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I did a lot of perspiration using this, and I think that size log would justify using a 26-inch axe with a 4-inch bit. I have an S-wing that I've only used once, and I'm looking at the log that I did chop with the S-wing. I've only used my 26-inch S-wing one time, and I basically was practicing on it for safety. Being able to chop, bring it up, chop, bring your hand back up this, instead of just chop, back up. So it's chop here, back up, and then switch hands, put this leg behind me, chop, take this back up, and chop. So that's why I chose that large log. You don't have, you can see, you don't have inch markers on that hatchet. Yeah, to measure with. Yeah, that's something else I heard about. To put some markers on here so you can. Great idea, Johnny. Great idea. I'm glad you reminded me because I have another axe head that I'm going to hang. One that I had and it broke, but it's no big deal. And I've been looking for a handle. I was even at what's it, Ace Hardware store yesterday. I saw a handle that will fit, but the handle was on, one was 13 inches, one was 14 inches. But I need at least a 16-inch because the beard, it's a the beard on it, it's about 5 inches. It's about five. Paracord with knots work too. Okay. See, that's why I like all these conversations. Yeah, you know what? Now it dawns on me. When I was at Georgia Bushcraft, a guy was actually wrapping his axe, and he was talking with someone else, but I think he was putting notches, something. He was measuring something because he was being very, very precise. You only need me and grandfather outdoors. Man, I would love to meet you guys. I'm really hoping that I know they're having the rendezvous. I mean, the mountain readiness meetup again in October. But so this was June. I'm really hoping that I get the opportunity. You guys come down there. Man, it was fun. There is this one instructor. I went down there with a friend of mine, Jason, in Virginia, and they had this real nice party, but it was raining so hard, and I was in my tent. The rain was sounding so relaxing that I didn't go to the party. I just wanted to lay there and listen to the rain. But he told me, and I spoke with the lady the next day. She went out in the pouring rain and made not one, not two, but three fires with the bow drill method. And her name is Jack Geneva, I believe, but she gives navigation courses, and she's really good. I've taken 2 courses, but what I'm thinking about doing, they have the Georgia Bushcraft twice a year, and now that I know the area, I know what to expect. I really think it would be great to go there in November, go to the event that Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and stay somewhere in, is it Oconee Park or Oconee County? Stay there during the week and take the navigation class that following weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My short video views hit 2,907 in 3 days. Wow, that's good. Wow, 2,007 in 3 days. Yeah, that. Yeah, the shorts, they tend to do very well. They tend to do very well. I just think, I mean, the shorts are really easy. I like doing the shorts, you know, just to try to get a quick message across and let people know that what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, I think I really, you know, I'm so glad I did this. Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the video turns out well, about the 14 parts of the axe, you know. But yeah, man, I'm getting this thing itch for axes, man. Just like for knives. Now I want a Fiskars knife. I mean, I want a Fiskars hatchet. I want a Gransford Brooks. I want a Husqvarna. It's just, it's just so. I mean, these things are just great. A great tool. I want a throwing axe. What is the other one? The God, what is the other? Where you can remove the head. Um, a tomahawk. Tomahawk. Yeah. Gotta go, folks. Okay, Grandfather Outdoors. Hey, I appreciate you dropping in, and I'll see you on your next video. Again, guys, that's a guy who he's great when it comes to topology. All right, Grandfather Outdoors, you take care, and I'll see you next time. So, wow, guys, I've been on here 1 hour and 6 minutes. So I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm gonna respect your time. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean up around here, and then I'm going to march out, go home, hit the shower, make sure there's no ticks on me, and get ready to do it all again next weekend. I'm really hoping, I can do an overnighter if the grandkids allow me to. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Hey, this has been very, very enjoyable. I thank everyone for coming in and sharing some time with me, because I know, hey, on this Sunday, there are many other things that you could be doing. So everyone in the chat, thanks, take care, and I will see you on my next video or out here doing an overnighter. I'm going to see you somewhere in the YouTube community. Take care, everyone. See you next time.